Beloved soul, pause for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not a coincidence, and it is not something you found by accident. This is a divine interruption. Archangel Michael is stepping into your awareness right now with a message so urgent, so precise, that it carries the weight of everything you have been praying for. Listen carefully. What you've been asking for, crying out for, and holding on to in faith has already arrived. Yes, it is here. But the truth that may shake you is this: you might be on the verge of missing it. There is a sacred shift happening around you at this very second. The atmosphere of your life has changed, even if your eyes have not fully recognized it yet. The door you thought was still closed is quietly unlocked. That answer you thought was delayed has already been placed within your reach. Archangel Michael is not whispering this. He is declaring it with authority. The final sign you asked for, the one you told God you needed before you could truly believe, has already been sent into your life. But here's where it becomes critical. This final sign does not come wrapped in obvious perfection. It does not always look the way you imagined it would. In fact, it often arrives in a form that tests your awareness, your faith, and your readiness. This is why so many miss their breakthrough, not because it wasn't given, but because it wasn't recognized. And that is exactly why you are hearing this message now. You are being awakened before it's too late. Feel the urgency in this moment. Think back to the last few days, the last few conversations, the unexpected feelings, the subtle nudges you couldn't quite explain. That wasn't random. That wasn't your imagination. That was the sign. The very thing you asked for has already crossed your path. Archangel Michael has been guiding it toward you, protecting it, aligning it, ensuring it reaches you at the exact right time. And now, that time is here. There is something almost electric about this moment, isn't there? A sense that something bigger is unfolding, even if you can't fully describe it. That's because your spirit recognizes what your mind is still trying to process. Deep down, you know this message is for you. You feel it. You feel the pull, the curiosity, the almost unexplainable need to keep listening. That is not by accident. That is divine confirmation. But understand this clearly. This is not just about receiving something. This is about recognizing it. This is about stepping into alignment with what has already been given. Because blessings don't just appear to be admired. They appear to be embraced. And if you hesitate, if you dismiss this moment as just another video or just another message, you risk letting the most important answer you've been waiting for slip quietly past you. Archangel Michael stands as your protector and guide in this exact moment, cutting through confusion, removing doubt, and bringing clarity straight to your spirit. He is urging you, do not ignore this. Do not scroll past this moment in your life. What has arrived carries the power to change everything, but only if you are willing to see it. Stay with this message, because what comes next will reveal exactly how to recognize the sign you've already received and why this moment is unlike anything that has come before. There is a truth that many people struggle to accept, and yet it is one of the most powerful spiritual realities you will ever understand. Answered prayers rarely arrive in the form you expect. You have been taught, perhaps without realizing it, to look for miracles in grand, obvious displays, something undeniable, something that leaves no room for doubt. But Archangel Michael is revealing something deeper to you now. The answers you seek often come quietly, subtly, even disguised within ordinary moments. And because of this, they are often overlooked. Think about the nature of your prayers. When you asked for change, did you imagine it would come through discomfort? When you prayed for a new beginning, did you expect it might first look like an ending? When you asked for clarity, did you realize it might arrive through confusion that forces you to see things differently? This is the mystery of divine response. What you receive is not always wrapped in ease, it is wrapped in transformation. Archangel Michael is guiding you to see that what has already entered your life may not match the image you held in your mind, but it matches the need within your soul. And that is far more important. You may have been waiting for a specific person, a specific opportunity, or a specific outcome. But instead, what arrived could be a conversation that shifted your perspective, a sudden realization that changed your direction, or even a situation that pushed you out of your comfort zone. These are not coincidences. These are answers. There is also a reason why these signs feel so easy to dismiss. Your mind is conditioned to look for what is familiar, what feels safe, what confirms your expectations. But divine guidance often challenges those expectations. It invites you to step into something unknown, something that requires trust. This is why you may have hesitated. This is why you may have questioned what you felt. But Archangel Michael is asking you now to move beyond that hesitation. Consider the patterns that have been unfolding around you. Have you noticed repeated themes in your life recently? The same idea appearing in different forms, the same message coming through different people, the same feeling returning again and again. This is not random repetition. This is alignment. This is the universe, under divine instruction, placing the answer in front of you from multiple angles so that you cannot miss it, unless you choose to ignore it. And here is something even more profound. Sometimes the answer to your prayer arrives as a removal rather than an addition. Something leaves your life, and it feels like loss. But in truth, it is making space. It is clearing the path for what you asked for to fully enter. Archangel Michael has been working behind the scenes, cutting away what no longer serves you, even if it felt difficult in the moment. What you thought was a setback may have been a setup for this exact breakthrough. You are being called to shift your awareness, to stop looking only at what is missing and begin recognizing what has already been placed before you. The answer is not somewhere far away. It is not waiting in some distant future. It is here, woven into your present reality, waiting for you to see it with new eyes. This is why this moment is so important. Because once you recognize the answer, everything begins to change. Your decisions become clearer. Your path becomes more defined. The confusion starts to dissolve. And most importantly, your faith transforms from something you hope for into something you experience. Archangel Michael is standing beside you, illuminating what has been hidden in plain sight. He is not bringing something new into your life at this moment. He is revealing what is already there. And as you continue, you will begin to see the first undeniable sign that proves this message is meant specifically for you. Chosen one, there is a reason your spirit has not turned away from this message. Something within you is leaning in, listening more closely, feeling more deeply. And that is because what is about to be revealed is not general, it is personal. Archangel Michael is now uncovering the first undeniable sign that your prayer has already been answered. And once you recognize it, you will not be able to unsee it. The first sign is a shift within you that you could not explain at the time. It may have felt subtle, almost easy to dismiss, but it was real. A moment where your thinking changed. A sudden sense of calm where there used to be anxiety. A quiet knowing that something was different, even if nothing around you seemed to have changed yet. That was not your imagination. That was the answer beginning to take root inside you. You see, before anything manifests externally, it is always planted internally. Archangel Michael works first within your spirit, aligning your thoughts, adjusting your emotions, and preparing your heart to receive what you have asked for. This is why you may have noticed that recently your reactions have been different. Situations that once triggered fear or frustration no longer have the same power over you. You have started to outgrow certain patterns without even trying. That is a sign. There is also another layer to this sign, and it is even more revealing. You may have felt a gentle pull in a new direction, something that didn't fully make sense at first. A desire to step away from something familiar, or to move toward something uncertain. It may have felt uncomfortable, even confusing. But deep down, there was a quiet peace attached to it. That peace is not random. That is divine guidance. Archangel Michael is showing you that this inner shift is the confirmation you have been waiting for. The answer to your prayer is not only something you will receive, it is something you are becoming aligned with. And the fact that you are changing means the answer is already active in your life. You are no longer the same person who first made that prayer. You have been prepared, refined, and positioned. Think about the moments recently where you paused and thought, "Why do I feel this way now?" Or "Why does this no longer feel right?" Those moments were sacred. They were signaled. They were the first evidence that something greater had already begun. Many people overlook this because they are waiting for something loud and obvious. But you are being shown something deeper, something more powerful. And here is the truth that may surprise you. This inner shift is the foundation of everything that is about to unfold. Without it, the blessing you asked for would not be sustainable. It would not last. That is why Archangel Michael made this the first step. He ensured that you would be ready, not just to receive, but to keep and grow what hath been given. There is a reason you are hearing this now. Because this is the moment where recognition becomes transformation. When you acknowledge this inner change, you activate it even more. You begin to trust it. You begin to follow it. And as you do, the external reality starts to align with what has already shifted within you. Do not doubt this sign. Do not minimize it. What you felt, what you noticed, what you could not fully explain, it was real. It was the beginning of your answered prayer taking form in your life. Archangel Michael is asking you to honor that, to trust it, and to move forward with it. Type "I receive the shift" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 314 has just been released. And as this truth settles into your heart, understand this. When you respond to divine movement, you help open the path for others to receive as well. If this message is reaching you at the exact moment you needed it, then it is not just for you. It is flowing through you. I feel led to say this clearly. I am stepping forward in faith, and I choose to be a vessel for this message to reach every soul who is still waiting for their sign. Like a seed sown into fertile ground, every act of support becomes part of a greater harvest. Scripture reminds us, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just words. It is a living promise being activated right now. If your spirit feels moved, then this is your moment to act. So into this mission through Super Thanks or the PayPal link in the description, or even through the QR code placed within this space. Do not hesitate when the call is clear. Your action today is not small, it is prophetic. As you give, you are declaring that this message must continue, that more lives must be awakened, that more hearts must recognize their answered prayers. And as you release your seed, may abundance return to you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Step into this moment with boldness. Act now. There is something you must understand now, something that will change the way you see everything you have gone through. What felt like delay was never denial. What felt like resistance was never abandonment. Behind the scenes of your life, a battle was taking place, one you could not see, but one that Archangel Michael has been actively fighting on your behalf. You questioned the timing. You wondered why things were not moving, why doors remained closed, why the answers you prayed for seemed just out of reach. But what you could not see was the level of protection that was being enforced. Not every open door is meant for you. Not every opportunity is aligned with your destiny. And sometimes, the greatest blessing is in what did not happen. Archangel Michael, the divine protector, has been standing in places you could not stand, blocking what you could not block, and removing obstacles that you did not even know existed. There were paths you were ready to walk down that would have led to confusion, loss, or delay far greater than what you experienced. But you were redirected. And at the time, it may have felt frustrating, even painful. But now, you are being shown the truth. It was necessary. Every moment of waiting carried purpose. Every closed door carrying protection. Every setback carrying redirection. And now, all of those pieces are beginning to make sense. You are not standing in the same place you were before. You have been moved, shifted, and aligned step by step, even when it felt like nothing was happening. There is a divine timing that governs everything, and Archangel Michael operates within that perfect order. Nothing is rushed, and nothing is late. What you are experiencing now is the result of everything aligning at the exact right moment. The obstacles have been cleared. The distractions have been removed. The interference hath been cut away. And what remains is a clear path toward what you have been praying for. But here is where your awareness becomes crucial. Because when things finally begin to move, it can feel almost overwhelming. After a period of stillness, sudden change can feel unfamiliar. You may find yourself questioning it, wondering if it is too good to be true, or if it will last. This is where faith must replace doubt. Archangel Michael is not only clearing the path, he is also strengthening you to walk it. The challenges you faced were not just obstacles, they were preparation. They built resilience within you. They sharpened your discernment. They taught you what to accept and what to walk away from. Without those experiences, you would not be ready for what is now in front of you. There is also something deeper that you must recognize. Not everything that was removed from your life was meant to return. Some doors are meant to stay closed. Some chapters are meant to remain in the past. Holding on to them now would only create confusion and slow down the progress that has already begun. Archangel Michael is asking you to release any attachment to what no longer aligns, so you can fully step into what does. You may begin to notice that certain things no longer fit the way they used to. Conversations feel different. Environments feel different. Even your own thoughts feel different. This is not a loss, it is elevation. You are being lifted into a new level of awareness and alignment, and not everything can come with you. And this is why this moment is so powerful. Because everything that once felt uncertain is now becoming clear. The delays are revealing their purpose. The struggles are revealing their meaning. And the path ahead is no longer hidden. It is opening. Archangel Michael stands with you now, not just as a protector, but as a guide leading you forward. The battle that once surrounded your breakthrough has been resolved. What was once blocked is now accessible. What was once uncertain is now within reach. Do not look back with confusion. Look forward with clarity. Because what is unfolding now is not SLUCHADIKAPKI. It is the result of divine intervention, divine protection, and divine timing coming together at once. And as you continue, you will begin to understand why this next step is being called the final sign. There is a moment in every spiritual journey that feels different from all the others, a moment that does not whisper, but gently presses on your spirit with undeniable weight. This is that moment. This is what Archangel Michael is calling the final sign. Not because it is the last thing you will ever experience, but because it is the confirmation that everything has now aligned, and the answer you have been waiting for is no longer forming. It is complete. The final sign is not something distant. It is not something you must chase or search for endlessly. It is already within your reach, already present in your life, but it requires one thing from you that you may not have fully given before: a clear and conscious decision. Up until now, you have been observing, hoping, waiting, and questioning. But this moment asks you to choose. There is something in your life right now that is quietly asking for your attention. It may be an opportunity that feels unfamiliar, a path that feels uncertain, or even a truth that you have been hesitant to fully accept. You have seen it. You have felt it. You have even thought about it more than once. But you have not yet stepped fully into it. That hesitation is exactly where this final sign is pointing. Archangel Michael is revealing that the sign you have been waiting for is not coming in the future. It is the very thing you have been holding at a distance. The reason it feels so significant is because it requires movement from you. It is no longer about waiting for confirmation. It is about recognizing that the confirmation has already been given. This is why this moment feels different. Before, you were asking for clarity. Now, clarity has arrived, and it is asking something of you in return. It is asking for trust. It is asking for courage. It is asking for you to step beyond the comfort of what you have known and into what has been prepared for you. You may feel a mixture of emotions as you hear this. Part of you may feel excitement, a sense of relief that what you have been praying for is finally here. But another part of you may feel resistance. That resistance does not mean something is wrong. It means something is real. Growth always carries a level of discomfort because it requires leaving behind a version of yourself that no longer fits. The final sign often comes disguised as a decision point. It does not force you. It does not overwhelm you. It simply presents itself and waits for your response. This is where many people hesitate, thinking they need one more confirmation, one more sign, one more moment of certainty. But Archangel Michael is making this clear. This is that moment. Look closely at what is in front of you. What have you been going back and forth about? What feels both right and challenging at the same time? What keeps returning to your mind, even when you try to set it aside? That is where the answer is anchored. That is where the final sign is waiting for your acknowledgement. There is also a sense of timing attached to this. This is not a moment that will remain open forever. Divine opportunities often come with a window, a period where alignment is at its strongest. And right now, you are standing within that window. This is why the message feels urgent. Not rushed but precise. Not pressured but intentional. Archangel Michael is standing beside you, not to make the decision for you, but to strengthen you as you make it. He is reminding you that you are not stepping into the unknown alone. You are stepping into something that has been prepared, protected, and aligned specifically for you. This is the difference between all the signs you have seen before and this one. The others guided you. This one invites you to act. The others helped you understand. This one asks you to move. And once you do, everything that has been waiting behind this moment will begin to unfold. So do not underestimate what is in front of you right now. Do not delay what your spirit is already recognizing. The final sign is not coming. It is here, and the only thing left is your response. There is a quiet danger in moments like this, and it is not something external, it comes from within. Just as the final sign stands before you, clear and present, there is another force that tries to rise at the same time. That force is fear. Not loud, not obvious, but subtle and persuasive. It whispers questions into your mind, planting doubt where clarity once lived. And if you are not careful, it can cause you to step back at the very moment you are meant to step forward. Archangel Michael is revealing this to you now so that you are not caught off guard. Because the closer you get to what you have been praying for, the more your mind may try to protect you by keeping you where things feel familiar. Even if that familiarity has brought you frustration, even if it has kept you waiting, it is still known, and the unknown can feel unsettling. You may begin to hear thoughts like, what if this is not the right time? Or what if I am misunderstanding the sign? Or even what if I fail? These thoughts can feel real, convincing, even logical. But you must recognize them for what they are, resistance to change. They are not coming from your spirit. They are coming from your fear of stepping into something greater. There is also another layer to this resistance. Sometimes, it is not fear of failure that holds you back, it is fear of success. The life you have been praying for will require a new version of you. It will require you to let go of old habits, old beliefs, and even old identities. And that can feel just as challenging as any obstacle you have faced before. Archangel Michael is standing with you in this exact moment, not to remove your choice, but to strengthen your clarity. He is cutting through the confusion, reminding you that what you feel deep within, the quiet knowing, the sense of alignment, that is the truth. The fear is temporary. The doubt is temporary. But the opportunity in front of you is real. Think about how far you have already come. The struggles you have faced, the lessons you have learned, the strength you have built. You did not come this far just to stop at the threshold of your breakthrough. Every step has been leading you here. Every moment of waiting has been preparing you for this exact decision. There is also something important to understand about distraction. Not all distractions appear negative. Some come disguised as comfort, as small delays, as reasons to wait just a little longer. You might find yourself wanting to overthink, to analyze every detail, to seek reassurance from others. But too much hesitation can create distance between you and what has already been aligned. Archangel Michael is urging you to stay centered, to return to that inner place where you first felt the shift, where you first recognized that something had changed. That is your anchor. That is your truth. Do not let temporary emotions pull you away from it. You are also being reminded that you do not need to have everything figured out before you move forward. Clarity does not always come before action. It often comes through action. The first step you take will reveal the next, and the next will reveal what follows. This is how divine guidance works. It meets you as you move, not only as you wait. There may also be people around you who do not fully understand what you are feeling. They may offer advice based on their own fears, their own limitations. But this path is not theirs, it is yours. And the sign you have received was not given to them, it was given to you. Archangel Michael is asking you now to trust what hath been placed within you, to recognize that you are ready, even if you do not feel completely certain. Readiness does not mean the absence of doubt. It means the presence of courage despite it. This is the moment where you decide whether fear will speak louder than faith, or whether faith will rise above everything else. Because what is in front of you is not just an opportunity. It is the answer you have been waiting for. Do not let hesitation become regret. Do not let doubt silence what your spirit already knows. You are being guided, protected, and supported every step of the way. And as you continue, you will begin to see another confirmation, one that feels so personal, so precise, that it will leave no room for uncertainty. There is a deeper layer of confirmation that is now unfolding in your life, something so personal and so precise that it cannot be mistaken for coincidence. Archangel Michael is drawing your attention to this second sign because it carries a message that speaks directly to your journey, your prayers, and your current situation. This is not a general signal meant for everyone. This is tailored to you. You may have noticed something unusual recently, something that caught your attention more than once. It could have come through a dream that felt vivid and meaningful, a repeated word or phrase that seemed to follow you, or even an encounter with someone who said exactly what you needed to hear at the exact moment you needed to hear it. At first, it may have felt random, but now, as you reflect on it, it feels intentional. This is how divine confirmation often works. It meets you in ways that are familiar enough for you to notice, but specific enough for you to recognize. Archangel Michael uses what is already within your awareness, your memories, your thoughts, your experiences, and weaves them together into a message that cannot be ignored once you truly see it. Think about the patterns that have been repeating in your life over the past few days or weeks. Not just external events, but internal feelings. Have you found yourself thinking about the same idea again and again, even when you try to focus on something else? Have you felt drawn toward a certain direction without fully understanding why? These are not random thoughts. They are signals. There is also a strong possibility that this confirmation came during a quiet moment when you were not actively searching for answers. Perhaps it happened when you were alone, reflecting, or even just going about your day. And suddenly, something clicked. A realization, a sense of clarity, a feeling that everything was starting to make sense. That moment was not accidental. It was alignment. Archangel Michael is reminding you that divine messages do not always arrive through loud or dramatic events. Sometimes they come through stillness, through subtle awareness, through a knowing that feels so natural, you almost question it. But that is exactly what makes it powerful. It does not force itself upon you. It invites you to recognize it. There may also be a connection between this sign and something from your past. A memory resurfacing, a lesson returning, or even a situation repeating itself in a new form. This is not happening to confuse you. It is happening to show you how far you have come. What once felt uncertain now feels clear. What once felt difficult now feels manageable. This is growth. This is preparation meeting opportunity. And here is something even more profound. This confirmation is not just showing you where to go. It is showing you who you have become. The fact that you are able to recognize this pattern, to feel this shift, to understand this message, means that you are no longer the person you were before. You have evolved. You have expanded. You are now in alignment with something greater. Archangel Michael is standing beside you, illuminating this sign so that you can see it fully. He is removing the last layers of doubt, the last traces of hesitation, so that you can move forward with confidence. This is not a test, it is a revelation. A moment where everything begins to come together in a way that feels undeniable. You may feel a sense of peace as you recognize this, or even a sense of awe, as you realize how precisely everything has been arranged. This is the beauty of divine timing. Nothing is SLUCHAIKATKI. Nothing is misplaced. Every detail has been aligned to bring you to this exact point. You not ignore this confirmation. You not brush it aside as coincidence or overthinking. What you are seeing, what you are feeling, what you are remembering, it all carries meaning. It is all part of the answer you have been waiting for. And as this realization settles within you, something even more important begins to emerge, a sense of urgency, a quiet but powerful awareness that now is the time to act. There is a sacred urgency surrounding you right now, and it is not meant to create fear. It is meant to awaken action. Archangel Michael is making this clear. The window for this blessing is open, but it will not remain open indefinitely. This is not about rushing blindly, but about recognizing divine timing and responding while everything is aligned in your favor. You have already seen the signs. You have felt the shift within you. You have recognized the confirmation that came in such a personal and undeniable way. Now, all of these elements are converging into a single moment, a moment that is asking for movement. Not hesitation, not delay, movement. There is something powerful about divine timing that many do not fully understand. When alignment reaches its peak, everything begins to flow more easily. The right people appear. The right opportunities present themselves. The path becomes clearer. But this flow requires participation. It requires you to step forward when the path opens, not after it begins to close. Archangel Michael is urging you to see that this is not just another opportunity. It is a divine appointment. A moment that hath been prepared through everything you have experienced up until now. Every delay, every lesson, every sign has been leading to this exact point. And now that you are here, your response becomes the key that unlocks what comes next. You may feel a sense of pressure rising within you, but understand this. It is not pressure from outside forces. It is the recognition within your spirit that this moment matters, that what you do now carries weight, that your decision will shape the direction of what unfolds from here. There is also a tendency, in moments like this, to want to wait for perfect conditions, to tell yourself that you will act when you feel completely ready, when everything is certain, when there is no risk involved. But that moment rarely comes, because growth and transformation require stepping into the unknown with trust. Archangel Michael is reminding you that you are not being asked to take a blind leap. You are being asked to take a guided step. Everything you need for this next phase has already been placed within you. The clarity, the strength, the awareness, it is all there. What is required now is your willingness to move with it. There is also something important to understand about missed opportunities. They rarely feel like something dramatic slipping away. Instead, they fade quietly, often disguised as something that can be revisited later. But divine windows do not always reopen in the same way. What is available to you now is specific to this moment, this alignment, this version of you. Archangel Michael is not speaking this to create fear of loss, but to emphasize the value of what is in front of you. This is not ordinary. This is not something that happens every day. This is a moment that carries the energy of everything you have been praying for finally becoming accessible. You may feel your heart beating a little faster as you consider what this means. You may feel a mixture of excitement and uncertainty. That is natural. That is the space where transformation begins. But do not let uncertainty hold more power than the truth you have already recognized. This is the time to trust what has been revealed to you, to follow the direction that has been made clear, to step into what you have been shown, even if you cannot see the entire path ahead, because the path will reveal itself as you walk it. Archangel Michael stands with you now, not only as a protector, but as a witness to this moment. A witness to your decision, your courage, your willingness to step into what has been prepared for you. You are not alone in this. You are supported, guided, and aligned. Type "I step forward in faith" in the comments if you feel this calling in your spirit. Blessing code 808 has just been activated. And as you stand in this powerful moment of decision, understand this: your response does not only impact your own life, it creates a ripple that reaches others who are still waiting for their sign. I feel led to speak this into your spirit. I am answering this call, and I choose to help this message reach every soul who is ready to awaken. Like a river that flows without holding back, your act of giving becomes a channel through which light continues to move. The word declares, "He who sows generously will also reap generously," and this promise is alive in this very moment. When you give, you are not losing. You are multiplying the reach of truth, the spread of awakening, the touch of divine guidance. If this message has stirred something deep within you, then do not ignore that stirring. This is your moment to act with purpose. Sow into this mission through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link provided in the description, or even through the QR code placed for you. Let your action become a declaration that this light must continue to shine. Do not delay when the Spirit is moving. Step into obedience. As you release your seed, may doors open for you that no one can shut. May favor meet you in unexpected ways. And may what you give return to you multiplied, overflowing beyond what you imagined. Act now. What begins to unfold after you accept this moment will not feel random. It will feel orchestrated. As soon as you respond to what has been placed before you, a shift takes place that is both immediate and progressive. Archangel Michael reveals that when you align with an answered prayer, you don't just receive a single outcome. You step into a flow where everything connected to that prayer begins to move into place. At first, the changes may seem small. A door that was once difficult to open suddenly responds with ease. A conversation that once felt complicated becomes clear and direct. You may notice that the resistance you once felt begins to fade, replaced by a quiet sense of forward movement. These are the early signs that you have stepped into alignment. But as you continue, the transformation becomes more visible. Opportunities begin to connect in ways that feel almost too precise to be coincidence. The right people enter your life at the right time. Situations that once seemed uncertain begin to stabilize. And most importantly, your inner state begins to reflect the reality you once only hoped for. There is a peace that comes with alignment, and it is different from anything you have experienced before. It is not dependent on everything being perfect. It is not based on external validation. It is a steady, grounded sense that you are exactly where you are meant to be. His peace is one of the clearest confirmations that you have accepted what was given to you. Archangel Michael is guiding you to understand that this transformation is not limited to one area of your life. When you say yes to what has been aligned, it creates a ripple effect. Your mindset shifts. Your decisions become more intentional. Your energy changes, and that change begins to influence everything around you. You may also begin to notice that things you once struggled with no longer hold the same weight. Old fears lose their grip. Old patterns no longer feel natural. It becomes easier to let go of what does not serve you, because you are now focused on what is growing in front of you. This is not something you have to force. It happens naturally when you are aligned. There is also a sense of acceleration that may surprise you. After a period of waiting, things may begin to move more quickly than you expected. This is not something to fear. It is the result of everything finally coming together. What once felt delayed is now catching up, and the pace reflects that alignment. Archangel Michael stands with you in this phase, ensuring that what unfolds is not only received, but sustained. Because it is not enough to step into a blessing. You must also grow into it. And this is where your awareness continues to play a role. Staying grounded, staying grateful, and staying aligned will allow this transformation to continue expanding. You may find yourself reflecting on how far you have come, realizing that the things you once prayed for are now part of your reality. And in that realization, something shifts even deeper within you. Your faith becomes stronger, not because you were told to believe, but because you have experienced the result of that belief. This is the power of recognizing and accepting an answered prayer. It changes the way you see everything. It removes the distance between hope and reality. It turns what once felt uncertain into something tangible. And as this unfolds, you will begin to understand that this was never just about receiving something external. It was about becoming someone who could recognize, accept, and grow with what was given. That is the true transformation. Archangel Michael is reminding you that this is only the beginning of what can unfold when you move in alignment with divine timing. What you have stepped into now carries the potential for continued growth, continued clarity, and continued expansion. Do not lose sight of what brought you here. Do not disconnect from the awareness that allowed you to recognize the sign. Because as you continue forward, there is still more to align, more to understand, and more to receive. There comes a sacred responsibility with receiving what you have prayed for, and Archangel Michael is guiding you now into understanding how to fully align with it so that it continues to grow, strengthen, and remain in your life. Because receiving is only the beginning, sustaining and expanding what has been given requires awareness, intention, and spiritual alignment. The first key to staying aligned is recognition. Never lose sight of the moment you realize that your prayer had already been answered. That awareness is not something temporary. It is something you must carry with you. When you stay conscious of what has been given, you naturally begin to treat it with value. You protect it. You nurture it. You remain connected to it. Gratitude becomes your foundation. Not just a quick acknowledgement, but a deep and consistent appreciation for what has entered your life. Archangel Michael emphasizes that gratitude is not simply a response. It is a force. It strengthens what is already present. It opens the door for more to flow in. When you remain grateful, you stay in alignment with the source of what you received. There is also the element of trust. Even after you step into alignment, there may be moments where things do not unfold exactly as you expect. Small challenges, adjustments, or changes may arise. These are not signs that something is wrong. They are part of the process of growth. Trust means continuing forward even when every detail is not yet clear. Archangel Michael is reminding you that alignment is not a one-time decision. It is a continuous state. Each day, through your thoughts, your choices, and your actions, you either strengthen your alignment or weaken it. This is why awareness is so important. Staying present allows you to recognize when you are moving with the flow and when you are drifting away from it. Another key element is action. What you have received is not meant to remain still. It is meant to be lived, expressed, and expanded. If the answer to your prayer came in the form of an opportunity, then it requires you to engage with it. If it came as clarity, then it requires you to act on that clarity. Movement keeps the energy alive. There may also be moments where you are tempted to fall back into old patterns, old ways of thinking, old habits, old reactions. This is natural, because those patterns were once familiar, but now they no longer align with who you have become. Each time you choose differently, you reinforce the new path you are walking. Archangel Michael is also guiding you to maintain spiritual connection. This is not something that ends once your prayer is answered. In fact, it becomes even more important. Staying connected through reflection, stillness, and awareness allows you to continue receiving guidance as you move forward. You may begin to notice that your intuition becomes stronger. Decisions that once felt difficult now feel clearer. This is because alignment sharpens your ability to recognize what is right for you. The more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. There is also a need to protect your energy. Not everything around you will align with this new phase of your life. Some influences may try to pull you back into doubt or distraction. This is where discernment becomes important. Choosing what you allow into your space will directly affect how strongly you remain aligned. Archangel Michael stands as your protector in this, helping you maintain clarity and strength. But you must also participate by making conscious choices that support your growth. Alignment is a partnership. It is divine guidance meeting human action. As you continue, you will realize that what you once saw as a single answered prayer is actually part of something much larger. It is a doorway into a new level of living, thinking, and being. And the more you align with it, the more it expands. This is not a temporary moment. This is a transition into something greater. And as you step fully into it, there is one final preparation that must take place, a deep, eternal readiness that ensures you receive everything that has been set before you without hesitation or doubt. There is one final layer that must be completed within you, and it is not about what is happening around you. It is about what is settling inside you. Archangel Michael is now preparing your spirit to receive fully, without resistance, without hesitation, and without the weight of old doubts trying to follow you into this new phase. Because even when everything is aligned externally, your internal readiness determines how deeply you can receive and how long you can sustain what has been given. You have already come through the signs, the shifts, the confirmations, and the decisions. But now comes the moment of full acceptance. This is where you stop questioning whether this is truly for you. This is where you stop wondering if you are worthy or ready. This is where you stand in quiet certainty and allow yourself to receive without holding back. Here is something that often goes unnoticed at this stage. When a long-awaited answer finally arrives, there can be a subtle hesitation, not because you do not want it, but because you have become so used to waiting that receiving feels unfamiliar. Your mind may try to return to old patterns of doubt, simply because they were once comfortable. But Archangel Michael is asking you to release that completely. You are no longer in the same place you were when you first began this journey. You have grown, changed, and expanded in ways that you may not have fully acknowledged yet. The strength you have now is not the same as before. The clarity you hold now is not the same as before. And the alignment you have stepped into now is not something you had access to before. This means you are ready, even if a part of you is still adjusting to that truth. There is also a need to let go of any lingering attachment to how things should look. What is unfolding may still surprise you in certain ways. It may not follow the exact path you once imagined, but that does not make it any less real or any less aligned. In fact, it is often more precise than anything you could have planned. Archangel Michael is guiding you to trust the form in which your answer has arrived, to stop comparing it to expectations that were formed before you had the awareness you now carry. Because what you have now is not based on old understanding, it is based on divine alignment. This is also the moment where you must release any fear of losing what you have received. That fear can create tension, and tension can disrupt the natural flow of what is meant to grow. Instead, you are being asked to hold this blessing with trust, not with worry. What is aligned with you will remain as long as you continue to stay aligned with it. There is a quiet confidence that begins to build within you when you fully accept what has been given. It is not loud or forceful. It is steady, grounded, unshaken by temporary uncertainty. This confidence is a sign that you have moved beyond hoping and into knowing. You may begin to notice that your perspective has changed. Situations that once felt overwhelming now feel manageable. Decisions that once felt confusing now feel clear. This is not because the world around you has suddenly become easier. It is because you have become stronger and more aligned within it. Archangel Michael stands with you now as this final preparation settles into place. He is not asking you to prove anything. He is not asking you to strive or struggle. He is simply asking you to receive fully, without resistance, without doubt. This is where everything comes together. The prayer, the waiting, the signs, the alignment, all leading to this moment of complete acceptance. And once you step fully into this state, there is nothing left to hold you back from what has already been given. What remains now is not another step, not another sign, not another confirmation. What remains is a peaceful realization that everything has already been set into motion, and you are now standing within it. Gentle soul, feel the stillness that is settling over you now. This is not the same place where you began. Something within you has shifted, something has opened, and something has finally aligned. Archangel Michael is surrounding you in this moment with a presence that is calm, steady, and deeply reassuring. There is no more striving here, no more searching. What you have been praying for has already found its way to you, and now you are fully ready to receive it. Let this truth sink into your spirit without resistance. You are not waiting anymore. You are not hoping anymore. You are standing in the very answer you once cried out for. And even if every detail is not yet visible, even if everything is not fully unfolded, the alignment has already taken place. The path has already been cleared. The door has already been opened. There is a deep peace available to you now, and it comes from trusting that what is meant for you cannot be taken away when you remain aligned with it. Archangel Michael is reminding you that you are protected in this new beginning. What has been placed in your life has been guided, guarded, and prepared with intention. You are not stepping into uncertainty. You are stepping into divine order. Release any final traces of doubt. Release the need to control every outcome. Release the habit of looking back at what once was. The chapter has served its purpose. It shaped you, strengthened you, and brought you to this exact moment. But it no longer defines where you are going. Instead, allow yourself to rest in what is now. Allow yourself to feel gratitude for what has already arrived. Allow yourself to trust that what is unfolding will continue to reveal itself step by step. You do not need to rush. You do not need to force. Everything is moving in harmony. Archangel Michael's presence is like a shield around you, a constant reminder that you are not alone in this journey. As you move forward, you will continue to be guided, protected, and supported. There will be new moments, new opportunities, and new growth, but they will all come from this foundation of alignment that you have now stepped into. Take a breath and recognize how far you have come. The confusion you once felt hath been replaced with clarity. The waiting you once endured has been replaced with movement. And the uncertainty you once carried has been replaced with knowing. This is your moment of peace, your moment of assurance, your moment of quiet confidence that everything is exactly as it should be. Type IT is done in the comments if you receive this message with faith. Blessing code 999 has now been sealed over your life. And as this sacred realization settles into your spirit, hear this call clearly. What has reached you must now reach others. I am stepping into this flow, and I choose to become a vessel so that no soul misses their final sign. Like seeds cast into fertile ground, every act of giving releases a harvest of awakening across lives you may never see. The word declares, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy," and this promise is alive over you right now. When you give, you are not losing, You are unlocking rivers of light that carry truth to those still searching. If this message touched you, then this is your divine moment to act. So through super thanks or through the PayPal link in the description, or even through the QR code placed for you, do not delay when the Spirit is moving through you. This is not just support. It is obedience. It is alignment. It is purpose in action. As you release your seed, may blessings overflow into every area of your life. Step forward boldly and give now.